Ladies and gentlemen, to present the Dr. Freddie Fu Sports Leadership Award to Mike Tomlin, please welcome Art Rooney II.
Thank you, Bob. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's an honor to be here. I've been coming to this dinner, I think, since I was about 5 years old. And I always like looking at this page that shows all the old-timers that got the award. And I was looking down there, and I see Dick Grote got the award in, I think, 1957 and 60. So, Dick, it's great to see you back. I think I was here for one of those, Dick, so you and I may be the only two that are still coming to dinner after all those years. And then I look down, I see the Steelers' Lou Michaels got the award in 1962. I know I was here for that award, and it must have been a lean year when the Steelers' kicker gets the Man of the Year award. But I do want to tell Cam that Lou Michaels also played defensive end. So Cam, you can be the backup if you could get one of those square-toed shoes out. But it is great to be up here with so many great awardees this year, and congratulations to the Pitt women's volleyball team. I must confess, Heather, I've never been to a volleyball game, so I may have to come out and see you all play. It's great to see the success you're having. And, of course, Cam, couldn't be more proud of Cam and what he's done for us, so congratulations to Cam. And Bill Hillgrove, certainly an institution in sports broadcasting here, and so happy to see Bill back in his seat calling the Pitt basketball games, and great to see some of his partners here in terms of Tunch and Dick Grote. So, Bill, congratulations. As I mentioned, it's my job to introduce Mike, Coach Tomlin, and was given a long list of his accomplishments, and I was talking to Mike this morning, and I told him I was introducing him. He didn't know that, and he said, "Well, your speech will be longer than mine." So, I guess I better hurry up. One little statistic here that I think really is worth mentioning is that Mike is one of only 3 head coaches in NFL history to start their coaching tenure with at least 13 consecutive seasons without having a losing season. And the other 2 on that list are Marty Schottenheimer and Don Shula, so pretty special company. But what I really appreciate about Coach Tomlin is his focus. Being a head coach in NFL these days is not easy. There's a lot of stuff coming at you from all angles. Lots of friendly social media types out there these days, and it really is. It really does take focus, and it takes keeping your team focused more than that. And this year, the season we had, it was not easy. We started off losing one of our coaches to a heart attack in training camp, and then we lost our starting quarterback in the second game of the season, and it really was a challenge. And I think the mark of leadership is being able to lead your troops in adversity, and Mike really did that this year, and we know the kind of job he does every year, but I think this year people started to realize what he was doing and what he's all about. So I'm not going to take any more time. I know he's going to be short up here too. So it's my honor to present Mike Tomlin for the Dr. Freddie Fu Leadership Award.
Thank you, Art. The longer you're a place in our business, man, you really get an opportunity to gain real perspective. And, the perspective that I gained over 13 years here is just one of extreme appreciation. I'm appreciative of so many things. I'm appreciative of Dapper Dan Charities. as a husband and father in this community, man, I benefit from the work that Dapper Dan Charities does. My kids are Shady Side Boys and Girls Club kids who've grown up in that building. So I just wanted to say thank you to Dapper Dan Charities for the work that you do for all of us. I'm also a guy who's extremely blessed to get an opportunity to work in an organization that's run by a family like the Rooneys. I'm a guy who's blessed enough to get an opportunity to work every day side by side with a man like Kevin Colbert. I'm a man that's blessed to lead a group of assistant coaches and players that are truly a special bunch. Included in that group are men who are up here tonight, guys like Cam Heyward, who absolutely bring the best out in me, and even Zach Banner, too. Zach grows on you like a wart, you know. You're going to like him, whether you want to or not. And lastly, it's just extremely humbling, and I appreciate it more and more every time I get an opportunity to come to this event, to share the stage with the other honorees. Big props to those guys, the ladies of Pitt Volleyball. Congratulations to you. I've had an opportunity to work with Bill over the years, man. Congratulations, and thank you for that. Always, man, I used to look forward to our Friday afternoon meetings. We'd be like, keys to the game, you know. Some Fridays I wasn't ready. You know, sometimes I don't see the keys till later. But I enjoyed those times. And obviously the Cam, just, you know, you can't express the type of special guy this guy is. To have the honor to lead him, he brings the best out in you. Unbelievable competitor. I pray on that. I got to tell you that. You know, he'll be pissed that his wife was mentioned tonight as being the best athlete in the family. That's just Cam Heyward. Thank you.
This was Cam Heyward's 9th year in the NFL, and I dare say it was his best season, but I know the best is still to come. Ladies and gentlemen, to present this year's Dapper Dan Sportsman of the Year Award, please welcome General Manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Kevin Colbert.
Thanks, Bob. On behalf of the Steelers, again, we'd like to congratulate the Pitt's women's volleyball team. 3 consecutive AFC or ACC titles. AFC's tough, too. And 30 wins is nothing. That's really a great accomplishment. I'm very blessed to work with the Leadership Award winner, Coach Tomlin. This will be our 14th season together, and I want to personally thank Coach Tomlin for working with me, and let's try to go win that Super Bowl. I'd also like to recognize a legendary sportscaster, Billy Hillgrove. We at the Steelers are very, very fortunate to have Billy doing our play-by-play. He does our play-by-play along with Pitt football and Pitt basketball, and I don't like to mention, but sometimes it's even on the same day, and I don't know how he does it. Billy, you're always fun to be around, and he just gave me the little cheer as we were coming up, but let's go down to the field. I was honored when Tracy D'Angelo asked me to present Cam Heyward as a Dapper Dan Man of the Year. Cam's work on the field speaks for itself. He was a first-round pick in 2011. He's played 134 games. He's amassed 354 tackles and 54 sacks. He's been selected All-Pro 2 times, and he's been named the 3 straight Pro Bowls. Cam's work in the locker room and off the field are just as impressive. He's a great husband to Allie and a great dad to Callan, Chloe, and newly born Kaya. He's elected team captain by his teammates for the 5th year in a row. He's the Steelers' Walter Payton Man of the Year awardee in 2015 and 2018. He established the Cam Heyward Foundation in the Heyward House in 2015. And through this program, Cam helps area youth with material goods, food, and educational items, while his Sacks for Kids program makes a donation for every Sacks that the Steelers record in a given season, and the funds raised by that go to the same Boys and Girls Club that we're honoring here tonight. So Cam, great work with that. I think it's important to note that Cam has been a part of this community from birth. As I'm sure the majority of our audience knows, and it's been mentioned earlier, Cam is the son of the late, great Pitt star running back Craig Ironhead Heyward and his mother Charlotte, who was also a Pittsburgh native. Cam was born in Pittsburgh on May 6, 1989, and we lent him to the Atlanta region for his high school years when his dad played for the Falcons, and we also lent him to The Ohio State University for his college career. But in 2011, it was time to bring Cam home. After we made him our first-round draft pick that year, in speaking to the media, I was quoted as saying, "We feel this is one of those special players, not only from a football standpoint, but this kid has impeccable character, work habits, toughness, you name it. It's hard to find a hole with this guy. He's a special person." Coach Tomlin added, "We're very familiar with this guy, very familiar schematically, both in terms of what we do and what he was able to do at Ohio State. We're just extremely excited about him. He's an impeccable young man and a really good football player. I like to think that every once in a while we get it right." 9 years later, it's nice to know that we feel the same way, because Cam Heyward is a great player and even a better person. I know that Cam has always been proud to be known as Ironhead's son, but I'm also pretty sure that if Ironhead was still with us today, he would be just as proud to be known as Cam Heyward's dad. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2019 Dapper Dan Man of the Year, Cam Heyward.
Well, Kev, you hit home right there, man. I wasn't expecting all that, but appreciate you, Kev. Being here for 9 years, and I was a 31st pick, and I remember all those names before me, and I know you wanted some other guys, but I'm trying to make you right every time. I look at that list and I see guys retire. I'm like, okay, I'm still here. I got a chance to keep knocking these guys off. Man, what a night. I'm very honored to be here. I'm Allie's husband, if you didn't know. It's crazy because, we're on our way, we're driving, and my wife's like, "Oh, did you know the Pitt volleyball team's gonna be there tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm also being honored too," but it's crazy. She was more excited to see you guys and be around you guys. I haven't even seen her tonight. She was like, "Oh, where's the volleyball team?" I'm like, "You know more people than me here." But I'm just honored to be around you guys. I'm honored to see the work you've done this year, in the past 3 years. I got to get my girls there. Coach Fish, wait 15 years, start recruiting my daughters. They're going to be big, strong. All right. I'm working it. All right. I got to say thank you to Coach T. Man, if you had heard the story we were telling tonight and talking, he's that sibling you have that pits the other siblings against each other.
and it's been going on. We were talking tonight, and we talked about how great of a year I had, and he's like, well, 2017 Cam was even better. And I'm like, damn, he got to me. And I've just been thinking about it all night, and it's crazy. I remember before I got drafted, 2 years before I got drafted, Pro Day was going on at Ohio State. And Coach T comes in, he's got his Steeler swag on, his Ed Hardy jeans, and he's just trying to strut, They just come off of winning a Super Bowl, he's that guy. But I'm thinking like, all right, he's a cool coach. I got to play for this guy. But never in my wildest dreams did I think the relationship we have and how you've let me grow and how you've inspired me and how you've pushed me, I'm just appreciative of that. I remember my first couple years here, everybody was ready to kick me out the door. But you, Kevin, Mr. Rooney, you guys have stuck with me. And I've always just tried to live up to what being a Steeler is, whether it's on the field or off the field. I've just been, very thankful of that. Coach T motivates people in different ways. Coach T tries to motivate us, and I'm just appreciative of that. Through a trying year, with all the different injuries we had, whether it was Ben, Tuitt, James Conner, Juju, I don't know if another team had to overcome as much, but it says a lot about the guys we have in the locker room, the teammates I have, whether it's T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, Javon Hargrave, Joe Hayden, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Our O-line is amazing. Marquise Pouncey, Ramon Foster, Al Villanueva. We got a lot of dudes that care about football and care about each other, and we don't want to let each other down. It's been, a year where I had to find ways to get better, and I'm talking to Coach T after every year, but in the midst of a season, you're trying to find ways to get better. And it's hard when you can try to sit back and, try to focus on that, but, we had the guys that allowed me to do that. We had the guys that allowed me to be up here today. So I'm just very thankful for my teammates. And I know I'm just going on thanking all these people, but there are a lot of people in my life I got to thank. Allie, hi. I look at that table right there and I think about my mom, my aunt, my great-grandparents who have, not my great-grandparents, but they're great. But, but, when I look back at when I got drafted, we were in my basement and they were all there, my agent included, and I think back, that night was crazy. And I say, I'm waiting around, seeing who's going to call. We never thought Pitt was going to call. And it's funny how it happens. I think my dad had a lot of work upstairs going on, getting this all done. But, that moment will always live with me. Seeing 412 come across the screen and, knowing that you guys were there and these guys were on the other side of that phone call. That means a lot to me. I'm just very, honored to be up here. My mom's had this great saying for me, patience is a virtue. And I'm not the most patient person. Don't laugh, it's true. But everything has come to me in patience, whether it's having 3 kids who are amazing and drive my life wild and my wife wild and crazy. Meeting my wife my first year in college, and playing for my dream school and then dream team in the NFL. I'm just very thankful to be in this position. Hopefully I'm longer enough to be a lifetime award winner like Bill. I got to get some more gray hair, but I'm on my way. But I'm just very thankful to be here, be surrounded by all these great people. I look at Coach Capel, I look at Coach Sullivan, Coach Narduzzi. I love the work you guys are doing. And, we got to bring a Super Bowl here. It's long overdue, and we got to get to work. So thank you.
It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you went up to him and said, "Hey, Bill," he'll give you 10, 20 minutes of his time. That's what makes him unique. And here to present the Lifetime Achievement Award is a man who spends a lot of time with him in the broadcast booth, former Steeler offensive lineman, current analyst, Mr. Tunch Ilkin.
Did you see that? Were you guys amazed? Because he is an amazing man. It is great to be here. What a blessing to be with Dapper Dan Charities again. And Coach Fisher, congratulations. And ladies, congratulations to you. And Coach Tomlin, you should have been Coach of the Year. Yeah, Coach Tomlin's a great coach. And congratulations, Cam. And you did outkick your coverage in marriage. But Wolf and I always say, you're this generation's Joe Green. You're a great leader and a great player. But now it's a tremendous blessing and honor and privilege for me to present this award to someone that has been my buddy. I met Bill Hillgrove in 1980, 40 years ago. And I remember I got cut in training camp, and I got called 6 games of the season, and he did an interview with me. And he was so cordial and so nice. Billy had this amazing gift. In 13 years of playing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, I love doing interviews with him because he made you feel special, he made you feel important, and he made you feel like you were a good football player even if you were not. In 1998, I got invited into the radio booth with him, and our friendship continued. And he was such a great guy and such a great mentor and such a great colleague. I have learned so much from Bill in broadcasting, and to share the booth with him, we always have a great time. Every game, we are having the greatest time, and he is just a tremendous, tremendous asset and icon to this city. And he is so considerate. In Super Bowl 40, Myron had just retired the year before. And with all the things that Bill had on his mind for calling the Super Bowl, he pulls out his cell phone and calls Myron. And he says, "Myron, we miss you. We wish you were here." And so he was talking to Myron, and he passes the phone on to me, and he says, "Say hi to Myron." And I say, "Myron," I said, "you got any advice for me? This is my first Super Bowl." He said, "Don't say anything stupid." And so I didn't. As you saw those guys giving testimony to Bill, it was so interesting because Bill has made the greatest calls. And sometimes I'm in the booth and nobody paints a picture like Bill Hillgrove. Nobody puts a bow on the end of a game like Bill Hillgrove. And sometimes I'm sitting in awe of what he's saying because he's so eloquent. And case in point, the AFC Championship game against the New York Jets, it was a really close game, and as the Steelers won that football game, Bill said something that just caught me off guard. He said, "The only jet that's flying to the Super Bowl is the one that is carrying the Pittsburgh Steelers." And it was a great call. And I was so in awe, I go, "Wow." I didn't have anything else. And we went to break, and Wolf goes, "Wow, is that all you got?" Well, I said, he put a bow on it, and he made it great. And Bob, I'm not insulting you, but he is the hardest working man in broadcasting. To think, He does Pitt basketball, Pitt football, Steelers football. Usually he does 2 games a week. And in November, he starts doing 3 games a week. And he's always prepared, and he's always on target. And, he is such an impressive man to me. And did you know that he was royalty? Did you guys know? He grew up in Garfield, and his friends put a moniker on him long time ago, the Duke of Garfield. And the Duke of Windsor has nothing on Bill Hillgrove. And, Billy, I just appreciate you, man. I admire you, I respect you, and I love you. And it's so great to work with you. And thank you for all the times you poured into my life. And, I love your family over there at Table 7. They're the best. And you're the best, buddy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Dapper Dan Lifetime Achievement Award winner, my friend, Bill Hillgrove.
I want to thank the mentors who have helped me. Ed Conway, Ray Scott, Bill Kelly, who produced Pitt football, and was Ray's spotter, who gave me the system I use today, and it still works. The folks at WTAE-TV, John Calamike's put together a pretty good news team. Paul Long, Don Cannon, Joe DiNardo, and Sally Wiggin. And the Action News sports team, the front 4, Stan Savran, John Steigerwald, a guy named Cope, and another guy named Hillgrove. We had it going on. I'd like to thank my alma maters, Central Catholic, Brother Francis Emery, who once said to me, "You're the disc jockey because you're the only one I can understand." Duquesne University, Harry Dumais, Sam Melly, Sam Hazo taught me the value of the English language and particularly the spoken word. Sister Rosalie, who directed the Pittsburgh Diocesan Radio TV School, where at the age of 13 I discovered I had some ability on this side of the mic. And I remember going to see her, and I thought I was going to learn how to fix radios and TVs, and she handed me a script. And I read the script, and she said, "Perfect, just what I'm looking for." I said, "What's that, sister?" She said, "A 13-year-old brat." I said, "I don't need a script for that." The University of Pittsburgh for giving me the opportunity to get my disc jockey hat off and become a play-by-play guy and get into sports. Heather, you got it going on. You really do. And the arrow's upward. It really is. The Rooney family. I got to know the chief before I was involved I used to cover for Channel 4, and he always kind of took a liking to me because he knew I was a racetrack guy. And he'd say, "Hillgrove, you going to the track?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I hope you break even." Dan Rooney, who eventually ended up hiring me, and Art II. Not only a great family, but the greatest franchise in pro sports, without question. My broadcast partners, Johnny Sauer, 18 years, taught me more about football than I ever thought I could know. Billy Osborne, Mark May, Bill Fralick. My current partner, Pat Bostic. My basketball partner, my current partner, is Curtis Aiken. But I had a partner for 40 years. That's longer than most marriages. You know that. His name is Dick Grote. What's funny about Dick is that the people in Tobacco Road think he's a point guard and have no idea he was a hell of a shortstop. And the people in Pittsburgh have no idea he was a hell of a point guard. Duke University, senior year, 26 and change. That's a lot of points. A lot of teams didn't score 26 in 1952, but he averaged 26 before the three-point shot and the 1-and-1. Should be in the Springfield Hall of Fame, is in the NAIA Coaches Hall of Fame in Kansas City, and could be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. The greatest athlete in the history of Western Pennsylvania. He's the only one that played two sports at the highest level. Dick Grote. We have a ball every Sunday. Our current Steelers crew with Tunch Ilkin, Craig Wolfley, Missy Matthews. I happen to think it is the best NFL broadcast, but I'm a little bit prejudiced. And I can't be remiss by not mentioning the late Myron Cope. I can just hear him saying, "Muzzle tough, Billy, muzzle tough." He once bought a new hearing aid. He said, $2,500. I said, $2,500? He said, it's got 6 channels. It's got TV, stadiums, music, voice. I said, really? That's state of the art. What kind is it? He said, 20 minutes to 2. All the producers and engineers that have made me look good and sound good, I appreciate their efforts. And I can't fail to mention my family. My wife, Rosette, 55 years of marriage. "55 years in punt formation." Can you imagine that? I mean, with my schedule, and the coaches understand it and athletes understand it, and she was able to raise 2 great children. Bill Jr., his wife Shelley is here tonight, and my daughter Leah. We have Jack, who is Billy and Shelley's, and fortunately Jack said to me a couple of years ago, "Pap, I want to do what you do." And right now he's on his way to being a broadcaster, which I don't have a problem with. Max, on the other hand, could care less about sports. He's a musician, guitar, piano, and an actor, and he's starting a play at Lincoln Park High School this weekend. They're doing Romeo and Juliet, and he's got one of the key parts, and so I'm proud of my family, and I thank them very much. Congratulations to Cam Heyward. You know, Cam, I was privileged to call every step your dad took at Pitt, and there were some fancy steps. And what I liked about your dad, and I can see it with you, is you are fierce football players. God bless you. I echo what was said here. Coach Tomlin, you should have been Coach of the Year. Nobody was dealt a worse hand than you were this year, and God bless you. And I think, you know what, the better things are here, and maybe next year is our year. And also to the Pitt women's volleyball team, 30-2, 18-0. Coach Dan Fisher, those are not good numbers, not great numbers, they're dominant numbers. Keep dominating. I'd like to thank the Dapper Dan organization. They do great work, and the Boy Scouts of Western Pennsylvania benefit. But most of all, I would like to thank the fans of Pittsburgh. People ask me, "Billy, you know, you're getting up in years. You ever think about the R word?" I said, the R word is not in my vocabulary. What the hell do I retire to? I'm like a golf pro. You know, where are you going? Nobody has more fun than me. And I accept this very humbly, with great honor, and with a sense of pride. How do I say it? My greatest accomplishment. No, let's go to achievement, lifetime achievement. My greatest achievement has been to be able to stay in my hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and play to the greatest fans in the world. Am I full of pride? Yes. But before I get too swelled with pride and get that big head, I think of the words of the late, great Chuck Tanner. The size of your funeral will depend on the weather that day. Thank you very much.